Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It's Zainab. I hope you're all doing well. Most of you would have heard about the university students that have risen up in many cities across the United States, even Canada, in support of Palestine. And I think it started in the United States because it started at, I believe, Columbia University, when a handful number of students were suspended for showing support for the watermelon people. So in response to their suspension, the whole university, almost everything, like thousands of students, rose up and protested peacefully in showing support and solidarity to the people of Palestine. And what ensued after that was a lot of brutality and violence coming from those who were trying to quell and quash or squash that protest and silence the students and silence anyone else who spoke up and used their voice to show solidarity and support for Palestine. I'm going to read you a letter that was addressed to these brave students across the United States and parts of Canada as well. That's from Ayatolla Khamenei of Iran. He addressed this letter on May 25th, just a few days ago. So I'm going to read it to you if it hasn't reached you yet. So here we go. In the name of Allah, the compassionate, the merciful, I am writing this letter to the young people whose awakened conscience have moved them to defend the oppressed women and children of Gaza. Dear university students in the United States of America, this message is an expression of our empathy and solidarity with you. As the page of history is turning, you are standing on the right side of it. You have now formed a branch of the resistance front and have begun an honorable struggle in the face of your government's ruthless pressure. A government which openly supports the usurper and brutal Zio regime. The Greater Resistance Front, which shares the same understandings and feelings that you have today, has been engaged in the same struggle for many years in a place far from you. The goal of this struggle is to put an end to the blatant oppression that the brutal Zio terrorist network has inflicted on the Palestinian nation for many years. After seizing their country, the Zio regime has subjected them to the harshest of pressures and tortures. The apartheid Zio regime's genocide today is the continuation of extreme oppressive behavior which has been going on for decades. Palestine is an independent land with a long history. It is a nation comprised of Muslims, Christians, and Jews. After the World War, the capitalist Zio network gradually imported several thousand terrorists into this land with the help of the British government. These terrorists attacked cities and villages, murdered tens of thousands of people, and pushed out multitudes into neighboring countries. They seized their homes, businesses, and farmlands, formed a government in the usurped land of Palestine, and called it Israel. After England's initial help, the United States became the greatest supporter of this usurper regime, ceaselessly providing it with political, economic, and military support. In an act of unforgivable recklessness, the United States even opened the way and provided assistance for the regime's production of nuclear weapons. The Zio regime used an iron fist policy against the defenseless people of Palestine from the very beginning and has, day by day, intensified its brutality, terror, and repression in complete disregard of all moral, human, and religious values. The United States government and its allies refused to even frown upon this state terrorism and ongoing oppression. And today, some remarks by the US government regarding the horrific crimes taking place in Gaza are more hypocritical than real. The resistance front emerged from this dark environment of despair, and the establishment of the government of the Islamic Republic of Iran expanded and fortified it. The global Zio elite, who owns most of the US and European media corporations or influences them through funding and bribery, has labeled this courageous, humane resistance movement as terrorism. Can one call a people a terrorist nation for defending themselves on their own land against the crimes of the occupying Zios? And is helping such a nation and strengthening it an act of terrorism itself? The oppressive leaders of global hegemony mercilessly distort even the most basic human concepts. They portray the ruthless terrorist Israeli regime as acting in self-defense, yet they portray the Palestinian resistance, which defends its freedom, security, and the right of self-determination, as terrorists. I would like to assure you that today the circumstances are changing. A different fate awaits the important region of West Asia. The people's conscience has awakened on a global scale, and the truth is coming to light. Moreover, the resistance front has grown in strength and will become even stronger, and history is turning a page. Besides you students from dozens of American universities, there have also been uprisings in other countries among academics and the general public. The support and solidarity of your professors is a significant and consequential development. This can offer some measure of comfort in the face of your government's police brutality and the pressures it exerts on you. I too am among those who emphasize with you young people and value your perseverance. The Quran's lessons for us Muslims and all of humanity is to stand up for that which is right. So be steadfast as you have been commanded. From the Holy Quran, chapter 11, ayah number 112. The Quran's lessons for human relations is, do not oppress and do not be oppressed. Chapter 2, ayah number 279. The resistance front advances by a comprehensive understanding and the practice of these and hundreds of other such commands, and will attain victory with the permission of Allah. My advice to you is to become familiar with the Quran. From Ayatolla Ali Khamenei on May 25th, 2024.